Welcome back to another video. My name is Kyle and I suck at budgeting. It is the end of the month of April, which means
It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May.
it is time to prepare for the month of Justin Timberlake, May. So we should hop into YNAB and see what we got going on. So the first thing we're going to do is go to budget and we're going to start this closeout. So I'll show you how I did my month closeout. This is what I do basically every month. It's kind of evolved as I've done new things and other things. First thing I do is I look at my underfunded. Is there anything left underfunded for the month? In this case, no, which is great. The next thing I do is I go through and I pull out money from my leftover categories. But before I do that, what I need to do is I need to go to bonus checking account over here and look and see if there's any pending transactions that have not gotten entered. Because what'll happen if I don't do this and I clear out, like this is for eating out, for example. If I go through and clear out all of the eating out money, when this transaction goes through and clears, I'll be negative. So I need to make sure that this is entered in before I do that. So let's go enter now, and you'll see that it is now entered, which means that it will then take that money out of the budget item over here. So now when I clear out my eating out budget, it will be accurate. And then it will then clear, and then everything will be happy and good and stuff. So we're going to move as we do all the time. This is going to go to manually. This is going to go to month ahead. All right. Next thing, this is going to get moved to month ahead. Gas is going to get moved to month ahead. And then emergency fund stays the same. Backup debit stays the same. These are all going to stay the same, right? This one I might stop, actually. And this one might stop. For right now, we're going to keep them the way they are. Domains and hosting are going to stay the same. And let's just keep going down. Keyboard's going to stay the same. Piano tuning, month ahead. Budgeted more than I needed. All right. So what that tells us is that we have $1,574.61 that is going to go towards next month. And if you look at over here, we projected $1,508.59. So we are ahead of our projection by almost $70. Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right. So then what we do is we go over to this financial stuff and we forget the number that we have to put in here. 1574.61. 1574.61. And the cool thing is that this number is green, which is the second time that's happened since August. That's pretty cool. Green is good. It means that I'm making strides towards month ahead, which is fantastic. Even though it's not our primary focus right now, that is a good thing. So, and the only reason I do this in month ahead is just so I can see that number. Could I do it all and ready to assign? Yeah, I could. Why don't I do it? I don't know. It's just the way I do it. My brain is silly and likes to do silly things. So, all right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and update our retirement accounts. So, where's my notepad? Where's my notepad? There it is. So the first one is going to be, whoops. I don't believe this. 39969.44. Save. And then this one is going to be 33463.37. Wow. Not nearly as bad as I thought. And that one went up. Wow. Okay. Did not expect that. Good things. That's good. So now we're going to go over to this early retirement spreadsheet, and we're just going to put those numbers in here. So 39969.44. I have to double check that number because I don't think it's right. 33463.37, but maybe it is. Who knows? So that's done. I'm just going to look at my Todoist really quick. Update TIAA. We did that. We did that. Update month ahead. We're doing the video. We updated our file sheet. Cool. All right. So, while we're here, let us just do a quick reconciliation because why not? Do those numbers match? Yup. And now we can get to our budget and move this into ready to assign. And we're going to take this and copy this and go to the month of May. Here we go. We're going to get rid of our projection. So while we're here, let's look at these things here. Pay off Jeep. Yep. Me. Yep. Month ahead projected, which we'll do in another video. Increase Roth. These are all my priorities, so we're good there. All right. So the next thing we do is we got $1,574.61 to start budgeting with. So let's go right to the Jeep. The Jeep is going to get the full $408.75. Cell phone is $35. Electric, $82, I think. We have not had an energy update recently, so that's good. I think. $71.25. $131.64. Mortgage we're going to hang on to for a second. We're actually going to look at a calendar this time. And old-fashioned word, we're going to fund half. Eating out, fund half. Gas, fund half. And that leaves us $165.97. All right. Let's do the calendar thing. First, we have to figure out when we got that charge last. What's the best way to do that? Let's go back to April. Mortgage activity. Last one was on the 23rd, which means, we're going to have to cover mortgage. Cool. Not cool at all. How are we going to pull that one off? So this tells me that it's going to get pulled on around the 7th. Is that right? Let's see what the calendar says too. Yep, mortgage is going to be due on the 7th. So we need $600 in mortgage. Ugh. How are we going to pull that off? I mean, obviously we could just go through and do the whole keyboard shenanigans that we did last month, to cover it and float it for a couple days because I get paid on the 10th. I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to float it for a couple days. So I'm not going to actually move the money in YNAB. It doesn't make sense to do that, but we're just going to, that's how it's going to work. It's just going to be funded by this keyboard category. It's going to fund the mortgage category for a couple days until my paycheck gets deposited, which will be on Friday. So just 2 days, not a big deal. So yeah, the good news is I actually planned for it this time, and as opposed to being caught off guard. So I got $165.97. I got to figure out what to do with. What are we going to do with that money? And I think the play is garden. 165.97 to garden. I think that's the good play. Because I went through and I repotted all my tomatoes and my peppers. My peppers haven't been repotted, but my tomatoes, I've got like 30 tomato plants like ready to go. And I have no place to put them. So I've got to build some more raised beds for those. So 165.97 will hopefully do some of it. So, all right. I think that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I do want to say one more thing. I just hit 300 subscribers. So thank you so much. I meant to do that at the beginning of the video and totally forgot. So maybe I'll stick something in the beginning there and talk about that. But thank you so much for the 300 subscribers. Greatly appreciated. We're just going to keep on trucking along and hopefully get even more folks watching. So thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. See ya.